Okay, so boom. So today I want to talk about avoiding temptation. Temptation can be a very tricky thing to avoid for real, you know what I mean? It's something you really gotta watch out for. You gotta know what you should and shouldn't be around. Now sometimes you might stumble somewhere and temptation is unavoidable. You might have to go to the store or something and something just hits you, feel me? Or you might have to go out somewhere and boom, you see somebody smoking, and that's something that you used to really enjoy doing and partaking in. You never know when it's gonna hit you. You never know when the enemy's gonna try to use it against you, but you just gotta be prepared all the time. You gotta always have God at the center and be prepared in your heart. This is why it's so important to keep God in your heart at all times. Always have the armor of God on, stay prayed up, things of that nature, because you don't know when you walking out somewhere or you walking through, in somewhere, you don't ever know what to expect. But God does, and God will help you through it all. For me, you don't know what you're gonna be hit with when you walk in certain areas. But God does. God always knows, and He knows what's to come next. When you got God at the center of your heart, you should be able to get through any sin. I don't care what sin it is, but none of these sins are they're all distractions, and none of them are stronger or bigger than God. And that's just what it is. Another big thing when it comes to avoiding sin, you gotta really crucify your flesh for real. For me, the longer you withhold and you just don't give your flesh what it wants, the better. The moment you give your flesh what it wants, it's gonna keep wanting it and keep wanting it and keep wanting it. But if it's something that's not good for you, something that's unhealthy for you, do not let your flesh have that hold on you. See, temptation starts in the flesh and in the mind. When the flesh and the mind agree that they both want something, then it starts to try to flow to your heart. But by fasting and crucifying your flesh, staying in your word and praying, God can help you get through that. He can help you because God dwells within your heart. And so He could block it from coming into your heart and it won't go any further. But you have to keep God in your heart and in the center. You have to trust in the Father. That's the best thing you can't do because we're not strong enough to do it on our own. So simply put, try to avoid, don't try to ever flirt with sin. If sin is over here, you stay over here. Okay? Um, Stay prayed up, stay prepared, and keep God at the center of all times. The moment you decide, oh, I'm gonna take a break from praying or whatever is the moment you might get hit with something that God could have helped you through. And third thing, don't feed into your flesh more than you feed into your spirit. The bull you feed more is going to be the strongest one. And so, with that being said, if you feed your spirit more than your flesh, then you should have no problem crucifying your flesh.